They even told us like, we are going to give you guns and you're gonna fight for Ukraine. I said, hi, we gonna fight for Ukraine? We are not Ukrainian. We are black. So how can we fight? How can we fight for Ukraine? If we fight for Ukraine, we are going to die first because we are black. When they will see, oh look at those black people, I think they are from they are from NATO. So we have to kill them first. So how could they think that way? Come on. Ukraine.
You heard from that gentleman there. He's 34 years old. He's lived in Ukraine for the past 9 years, originally from Congo, and he said he left the Republic of Congo for a better life, to escape the political situation, the strife there. And here he is once again, now having to leave another country and is facing discrimination. Just a little bit more about what he said, Kira, that he and others endured as they tried to leave Ukraine. He is in Dnipro, or lived in Dnipro, which is just south of Kiev. And at one point on the train that he was trying to get on with so many other refugees, he said that the guards there said that only women and children would be allowed to board the trains that were headed west. And that then they saw that there were white men who were allowed to get on, but that the people of color were barred from getting onto that train. And it was a moment of disbelief for him, and certainly one of frustration.
It was clear. It was clear because we are black. That's why they were acting that way. Come on. We are black people in a white country. We already know the way that we're gonna act with us. So for me, it's nothing.
And you see, these are the same people that we are dealing with right here in our own country in the U.S. Where there's people who claim they hate America, right? That they're oppressed and everybody's racist, right? Everybody's a fascist, everybody's this and that. Right? We hear this all day long, and it's freaking annoying. These leftist loons, right, that don't want to leave, but they want everybody else to feel the same way they do. They hate everything, that they hate their lives, and they want everybody else to hate their lives too. Right? You can't love yourself, you can't love your country, and you can't love your freedom, you can't love the concept, you can't love anything, any of that. If you do, you're a bigot, you're fascist, you're racist. Right? Majority of these people, they come from other countries, or their parents came from other countries into the U.S., right? They grow up here, or their children grow up here in the U.S., right? Because their parents most likely ran from another country that did actually oppress them, and they were living under communism, came to the U.S., had children, raised their children in the U.S., either to hate the U.S. or their children become indoctrinated to hate their own country and to hate everything that gave them everything that they have today. The clothes in their back, the food in their stomach, right? The roof over their head. So you can imagine those people that's out there ranting and raving about their rights and all this bull crap will be the same people like this guy right here, that if we had to handle our business here in the U.S., those will be the first people to run and hide. Flee. Either flee the country or just hide under the biggest rock they can find. This Ukraine-Russian thing going on showed us a whole lot. COVID exposed a lot of people. It exposed the tyrants, and it brought out mostly and exposed the people who are actually patriots in heart. This Ukraine war brought out a lot also, and showed us a lot about what it's like in Ukraine, right, to actually be a strong president and actually be for your freedom and to fight for your country. When you provide weapons and you stand by your Second Amendment, okay, and it shows you what that Second Amendment is for. So take notes. Take notes about what's going on in Ukraine, because they're showing us they're showing us the bigger picture. So all those people ranting and raving, crying about gun violence and all that, tell them to shut the F up. Because those would be the same people that run and hide if we had people running around our cities with little with machine guns and tanks and things like that. They'll be hiding under the biggest rock they could find. They won't have a problem when those weapons are the same ones protecting their ass, though. But they don't want you, the patriot, they don't want you, the freedom-loving American, to have it. That's the kind of people we're dealing with. Where people like this guy can go there, live off all of their, whatever they gave him, everything that they gave him for 9 years. All of a sudden, he's feeling racism towards him. He's been there 9 years, sucked the country dry of whatever he could. Right? He's even dressing like them. You know? With the little skull cap and the hood and like, let's really talk about that. 9 years. But you don't feel that you have a responsibility to give back. Right? You don't feel no responsibility to give back to the country that put those clothes on your back and the food in your belly and the opportunity to do so. So let's say, would you fight for Congo? Would you go back to your country and fight for them if Russia goes and invades that country? I bet you won't. I bet you won't. You're running high from every single war that any country engages in because you're a pussy. You're a leech. Leftists, all these people are leeches. All they do is run to every country they can to hide under rocks. Instead of fighting for the country that they're in, they go to another country, feed off of them, leech off of them. Then if something goes down, they go hiding under rocks. As soon as the coast is clear, they stick their head up and scream racism. How could you even want somebody like that in your country? I swear, I hope we get laws in this country that gets people like this out. Everybody in the U.S. should be vetted. That you either a U.S. citizen, or you're someone that fights for your country, or you don't like the country. Send them on the first flight to the first third world country that you can get them to. Send their ass to North Korea, China. Get them out of here. These are the people we're dealing with. America, and I'll say this loud and clear, pay attention to that war, because you're going to have to decide what kind of person you are if something like that happens in your own country here. You're going to hide under a rock? You're going to, because in America, we have nowhere to go. We can't go to another country from here. Where are you going to go? You can't get on a train and go to another. Where are you going to go? We're going to go to another state, another part of the New York of the U.S. Take notes, because they're showing us exactly what it's like to be in war and what it's like to hold dear the patriots that you have around you, and what it's like to fight for your country and your freedom. Pay attention.